report Joe Biden's cabinet meetings were scripted, used cameras, creativity to cover mistakes. Wow, 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 wow. They're just like, they keep beating Biden down, man. Like, all this stuff is coming out. All the skeletons that were in the closet are coming out. People are coming forward saying all types of stuff, things that we, of course, been saying over the years. Everything was fake. He's not really the one running the country and all these other things. And now we're finding out all these things are actually true. Jake Tapper with his new book coming out, showing us these things, telling us these things, basically admitting everything that we've been saying over the years. So we're going to talk about this, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon, and that's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Gateway Pundit, and they report the hits just keep coming for Joe Biden's presidency and the Democrat Party. One of the details in Jake Tapper's book, which came out today, is that Biden's cabinet meetings were scripted, meaning that they were little more than theater. Everything about this administration has been fake. Who is actually running our country these 4 years? People in these meetings were more like actors than government officials. They also reportedly used cameras to cover any mistakes. And this picture here, which shows Janet Yellen here, I always thought this was kind of odd. Like the way she just sits there in the meetings, and I don't know, it was kind of something about her during these meetings I would see. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I couldn't figure out exactly what it was. I just thought it was just her. But maybe she just was uncomfortable being being directed like that. Not everyone is ready for the camera, you know. But if this is accurate, it basically means that Biden's presidency was almost completely fake. But like I said, we already knew he wasn't the one that was that's been running this country. We know that. And so we got the article here from The Hill. Biden team scripted cabinet meetings use multiple cameras to cover up flubs. So The Hill says Tapper and Thompson also reported Biden increasingly relied on teleprompters. We know that already too. And note cards, even for private discussions like cabinet meetings. Private discussions? He had a note card for private discussions? Wow, we know he had the note cards and stuff that call people names during the little press conferences that he did do, and he never really took any off the cuff interview, any off the cuff questions or anything like that. They will always shoot him off right after he finished talking. Like it was obvious what was going on there. I've been saying for years, back when he was running in 2020, but I called it Weekend at Bernie's. I called it Weekend at Bernie's because someone was actually holding those puppet strings. He really wasn't the one running this country. But quote, before these meetings, White House staff called the various departments and agencies to figure out what they were going to ask the president so that the answers could be prepared. The conversations were largely scripted even after the press had left the room, the authors reported. When a group would ask Biden to record a 5-minute address for keynoting an event, the White House usually responded that the video would be 1 to 2 minutes, Tapper and Thompson report. But Biden still struggled with that. Quote, to compensate for that, aides filmed Biden with 2 cameras instead of 1. If Biden messed up, the edit was less obvious with the jump cut. They reported. Other politicians used jump cuts, but Biden aides noted to themselves how much more often they had to use them for the president. And this is what people have been saying about this report on X. Guy named Ben said, so it really was just a new season of The West Wing. one guy said, "My God, it keeps getting worse." Right? Someone named Cynthia Holt said every single thing was fake, all of it, illegitimate president. Thank you. Yeah. Then we got, this is the biggest scandal in the history of politics in America. The Russia hoax is second. Unbelievable. I don't know. I think the whole Russia thing was might have been probably the biggest thing, because they literally went after someone on false pretenses. They spied on American citizens. I think it was close tie. It's a close tie, but it's all ran by who? Democrats. They are the most corrupt people in this country. And it goes to show that. And we still don't know who was really running the country the whole time. It really is a historic scandal. That's true. Because we all know by now. You have to know by now. Even Democrats know now that Biden was not the one in charge. He was not running the White House. He was not running the country. He don't even know where he is half the time. How many times I talk about him shaking his hand with no one there, and calling out dead people, and just so many different things, man. We dodged a bullet. We dodged a bullet. But the bad part is, honestly, I don't think Kamala Harris could have did any better than Joe Biden. I really don't, because at least Joe Biden has an excuse. He's older. He don't really know what's going on. Someone else is like trotting him around. So he at least has an excuse. What was Kamala Harris's excuse for her incompetence? For her she's just not that bright. She's just not that smart. She got handed everything. And then when she had to come out and actually speak, she would only speak in platitudes and word salads and things like that. So at least Biden has an excuse with his age. But all in all, man, this is all jacked up. This is all messed up. It's fine. The truth is finally coming out. I can't wait to hear how the leftists continue to cape now that we got all this new information. But y'all leave your comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about all this. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.